After the rise of the Abyss, the land became plagued, and the entire southern part of the Land of Dawn turned into a barren wasteland. Even though the high-ranged Lantis mountain blocks the corruption of the Abyss, the Mother Nature in the southern realm continues to wither away. This once prosperous land is now nothing but a silent place filled with doom and death. People call it the Despair Place. The only passage that connected the crack of the Abyss with the Monian Empire was broken, separating the trapped refugees and the exiled wanderers from the rest of the world. They now live in fear and despair, haunted by monsters, yet struggling to survive. For these people, the name of Benedetta brought hope and a sense of security. This courageous, persevering female ranger leads a team and fights in the land south to Lantis Mountain, protecting the scattered settlements set up by the last survivors within the Despair Place. It had been 4 years ever since Benedetta and her team had started their campaign in the Lantis mountain region. Whenever she drew Electo, the rampaging monsters would scatter in fear from this long sharpened sword, infused with unstoppable power. The people of the southern regions titled her as the Shadow Ranger and the protector of the Despair Place. She had earned the admiration and respect of everyone in this desolate wasteland. However, the distant Monian Empire Jad left a deep scar in Benedetta's heart, and it was only she who knew that the wound could never heal. Alucard wasn't the only person whose life was changed by the war that happened years ago. Benedetta was one of the victims as well. But Benedetta's family was unlike that of Alucard's. Her father wasn't an officer or mentor, but was just an ordinary soldier. Unfortunately, the 2nd Division of the Imperial Army was convicted of rebellion after they were defeated in battle, and so, no honor or glory was given to the soldiers who had dedicated their lives for the country. As an officer's child, Alucard was sent to the Monastery of Light along with several other children, and grew up with the blessing of light. But Benedetta didn't receive such privilege, as she was the child of a low-rank soldier and had to struggle to make a living without her parents by her side. Ever since Benedetta was little, she had always wished that she could one day become a warrior of light, take back the glory that rightfully belonged to her father, and avenge her father's death by killing those demonic monsters. To this end, she kept training and treating herself as a warrior, constantly sharpening her fighting skills, and eventually inherited the long sword left by her father, preparing for the battles that were to come. However, the passionate Benedetta was rejected when she signed up for the trials of the Empire Army, because the powerful men who ran the Knights Order were furious because of the betrayal of Alucard's parents and the 2nd Division soldiers, and ordered that no descendant of a rebel could ever join the Imperial Army, so that they would never seek the truth, just like Alucard did. Disappointed and enraged by the Empire, Benedetta took up her long sword and left the Monian Empire, heading for the barren lands and preparing to annihilate the monsters and have her vengeance by herself. Even though she was mentally prepared, Benedetta was shocked by the corruption and desolation the first time she saw the barren lands. But what surprised Benedetta even more was that there were people who lived near the foothills of the Lantis mountain, suffered a harsh environment. Life there was hard, but those people were optimistic and hard-working. Unfortunately, they had to fight for everything they needed to survive. They improved the soil, raised the next generation, and defeated the monsters. At first, Benedetta was not interested in these people at all. She aimlessly wandered the barren lands and gave her long sword a new name, Electo. She then unleashed her anger on the monsters and slaughtered them all. But as time went by, Benedetta slowly realized that this land is truly a vast area, and the power of the abyss and the monsters were more formidable than what she had expected. She could have never saved the despair place or changed anything on her own. Benedetta ran across a ranger squad who were in the middle of a fight against some monsters. The odds were against them, but they fought bravely as a team, with great synchronization, and drove back the monsters, who attempted to raid the human camp several times. During the campaign, Benedetta and the Rangers established friendship and trust through their joint and these people who lived in a godforsaken place demonstrated the fortitude and the strong will to survive, which eventually touched Benedetta's soul and made her believe that it was not the weapon in their hands that would one day triumph over the abyss. But it was the everlasting hope in their hearts. Afterward, Benedetta chose to stay and built a ranger squad, where each member shared the same vision but had different skills. They helped the people of the southern lands defend their homeland. One by one, the monsters across the entire region of Lantis Mountain's southern foothills were defeated by Benedetta and her comrades. Benedetta would always leave a mark on the battlefield after she stroked down the enemies, reminding the monsters that Benedetta had never forgotten what they did to her. More and more settlements sprang up around Lantis Mountain, and the human civilization was able to develop thanks to their protection. They had been through hell, they had made many sacrifices, but nothing could shake their will and stop this ranger squad from walking against the shadow. Under Benedetta's command, they believed that so long as she was there, hope still existed, and they believed they would see flowers bloom in the barren lands one day. Meanwhile, Bella had another greater ambition. She wished to eliminate all the monsters and recover her father's glory to prove a simple fact to the foolish rulers of the Manian Empire, letting them know that honor was not something to be given by anyone, it was hard-earned. This was not just a battle between her and the abyss, it is also a war between her and the Empire.